Hello student, myself Richa Singh. Today I will teach lesson number 9, optics. Okay, this is the part 2 physics first lesson, that is optics. In this chapter we will see the two branches of optics. First of all, we will see the meaning of optics. Optics means the propagation of light. We will study the nature of light in this branch of physics. Here the two branches of optics, the ray optics, in which light travels in the form of ray, and the basic concepts, that is reflection as well as refraction, we will study in this ray optics. And the lesson number 10, that is wave optics, that we will study after this chapter. In this branch of physics, we will consider the wave concept of light, that is light travels in the form of wave. And the basic concepts that we will study in this branch of physics, that is wave optics, that is we will study the interference, diffraction and the polarization of wave. Okay, so I think you have understood the meaning of optics and the meaning of branch of optics. Now we will come to the first topic of this lesson, that is behavior of light at the interface of two media. That means when the light will pass from one medium to another medium, then what happens? See here, when a ray of light, this is the incident ray, when it is incident on this reflecting media, some part of light get reflected. This is called reflection of light. And some part of the light get refracted by changing the path of the light. And this phenomenon is called refraction of light. And some part of the light get absorbed by this reflecting media. That means the light is dividing into three parts. One part is reflected, other part is get refracted, and the remaining part is absorbed by the reflecting media. Now, before starting the different laws related with the spherical mirror, now the next one we have to study the properties related with spherical mirror. A student, as you know that in 10th standard in optics chapter, in reflection of light chapter, already you have studied the laws of reflection through the plane mirror, and because these laws of reflection through the plane mirror follow the same rule followed by the same rule by the spherical mirror. So before starting the properties related with the spherical mirror, we will see the laws of reflection through the plane mirror. As we know that the laws, first law of reflection is that the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence, suppose here the point of incidence is O, all lie in the same plane. That is the first law of reflection. You are already knowing. Now the second law of reflection is that the angle of incidence, it is made between incident ray and the normal, and the angle of reflection, it is formed between reflected ray and the normal. Here the second law of reflection is that the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Okay. Now for studying the properties related with the spherical mirror, first of all we will see how these laws of reflection are followed by the spherical mirror. So here see how the spherical mirror can be formed. Here if one hollow glass is taken and this part APB is cut, then this APB part is called the mirror. When it is called the mirror, when one surface is polished with the silver, either suppose this here we have polished the this inner surface is polished and here the outer surface is polished, and if the inner surface is polished, then the outer surface is the reflecting surface, and if the outer surface is the reflecting surface, then the convex mirror will be formed. Okay, which mirror will be formed? Convex mirror. In the same way, if this outer surface is silvered and this inner surface is the reflecting surface, then the concave mirror will be formed. Okay, so the two types of mirror are there: concave mirror and the concave mirror and the convex mirror. Okay, now we will see different terms related with the spherical mirror that also you have studied in 10th standard. Here in this chapter we have to study some relations between focal length, radius of curvature, object distance, image distance, and the focal length, etc., etc., etc. So before seeing the relationship between them, first of all we will see the related terms. Again here see, we have taken, suppose here the concave mirror, because the outer part is polished, so this is the inner part will be the reflecting surface. Okay, so see here the part AB, that is called, here we have cut this part AB is called aperture of the mirror. Okay, and this spherical mirror, it is cut from the hollow glass, and the center of this hollow glass is called the center of curvature. Okay, and if we join the here before discussing the principal axis, see the middle part of this spherical mirror, that is P, is called the pole of the mirror. And now if we join the pole and the center of curvature, this imaginary line if we will consider, and we join P to C, then this imaginary line is called the principal axis. Okay, then the distance between the pole and the center of curvature, either here PC or AC or BC, this distance is called the radius of curvature. And we will see here the relation between radius of curvature and focus. First of all, we will see the meaning of the focus. Here for the concave mirror, if the rays of light is incident on the reflecting concave surface, and after reflection it will pass through the point, a particular point, this point is called the focus of the mirror. Now student, see the actual definition of principal focus for the concave as well as for convex mirror. First see, for the concave mirror, when the parallel beam of light after reflection passing through a point or converging through a point, this point is called the principal focus of the concave mirror. And dear students, see here the rays of light after reflection are really converging at this point. So this point is called the real focus of the concave mirror. Now we will talk about the focus of the convex mirror. So when we will talk about the focus of convex mirror, see here, here the parallel beam of light which are passing parallel to the principal axis, after reflection it appears to diverge through this point. Diverge means spreading through this point. Okay, so this point is called the focus point. Here F is the focus point of the convex mirror, and here see here the rays of light are not actually diverging or spreading this from this point. It appears to diverge. So this focus of the convex mirror is the virtual focus. Okay, now see the next definition, that is the focal plane. So for understanding the focal plane here, see in this figure we have considered the two parallel beam of light. they are making certain angle with the principal axis, and after reflection they are intersecting at this point. So here this plane which is perpendicular to the principal axis, and here the rays of light intersected after reflection in this plane is known as the focal plane. Now we will see the sign convention for spherical mirror. Okay, so there are certain rules for following the sign convention for both type of mirror. Here I have drawn both type of mirror. First one is the concave mirror, and here I have drawn the convex mirror. So which rules you have to follow? Always the rays of light we will consider from left to right. Okay, the rays of light here, if we have considered an object, so the rays of light are coming from left to right, and all the distances are measured from the pole of the mirror, either for concave mirror or for the convex mirror. And the distances which are measured in the direction of incident ray are always considered as positive, and the distances measured in the direction opposite to the incident ray are considered as negative. So dear student, suppose we have kept one object, suppose this is the object AB, and for showing the distance of object from the pole, as you know that we just show by object distance U. So what will be the object distance U? It will be negative. Why it is negative? Because we have measured this distance against the direction of incident ray from the pole to A, that is from P to A. So object distance is negative. Okay, and suppose here we have considered the concave mirror, and real and inverted images form below the principal axis. So the image distance, that is here we will represent by V, and again this real and inverted image, the image distance will also be negative. And as student, as you are knowing that in one case, the last case, when the object is kept between focus and pole, the image formed by the concave mirror is virtual, erect and magnified, that you have studied in 10th standard. In that case, the image distance, that is V, will be positive. In a rest of the cases, the image distance will always be considered as negative. So here the focal length, tell me the focal length of concave mirror, it will be positive or negative? So because we are measuring again the distance, focal length that is equal to PF. So this focal length F will also be negative for concave mirror. Now if we will talk about the convex mirror, as we are knowing that through the convex mirror we are always getting which type of mirror, which type of image? We are always getting virtual image. Okay, so for virtual image, suppose here the image is formed, so the image distance V will be positive for convex mirror, and object we have kept here, so object distance will be taken as negative. So in both the mirror, either for concave and convex, the object distance will be negative, but the image distance for the convex mirror will always be positive. And what about the focal length of convex mirror? The focal length of convex mirror, the distance again we will measure from P to F. So here the focal length will be positive for the convex mirror. So I think you have understood the which type of sign convention you have to follow for the spherical mirror, and another sign convention you have to follow, that is the distances, the height of the object which are taken above the principal axis is considered as positive, and the height of the image, suppose here the height of the image is formed below the principal axis, so here the height of the image will be negative. Okay, and in case of virtual image, the height of the image, because it will form above the principal axis, so height of the image in that case will be positive. Okay. Now dear student, we will see the relation between focal length and the radius of curvature for the curved mirror. Okay. So first of all, see the figure what we have drawn. For the concave mirror, one ray we have considered AM, which is parallel to the principal axis, and this ray after reflection will pass through the principal focus. See here, from F it is passing, and the ray here we have joined, that is CM. It is perpendicular on this curved mirror. As you are knowing that in on the plane mirror, this is the perpendicular, and for the curved mirror, the line joining through the center, all these lines are perpendicular on the curved surface. So here CM is the normal for this curved mirror, and if this is the normal, then angle of incidence I is equal to angle of reflection by the laws of reflection. And as we have taken both the rays AM and CP are parallel to each other, so by the parallel line theorem, that we are knowing that if two lines are parallel to each other, so this angle is called the alternate interior angle. Z is formed. Okay, so here angle I is equal to angle alpha, and if angle I is equal to angle alpha, then in this triangle CFM, angle R will also be equal to alpha, because already we have written angle I is equal to angle R. And as we are knowing that in any triangle, if two sides of the triangle are equal, then if two angles of the triangle are equal, then opposite sides are also equal. Okay, so here if angle R is equal to angle alpha, then CF is equal to what? FM. And here students, we have considered the small aperture of the curved mirror, and for small aperture, this FM distance can also be equal to FP. Okay, so here FM is equal to FP. Then we can write CP will be equal to what? The sum of CF plus FP. And we have already proved that is CF is equal to FM and FM is equal to FP. So CP will be equal to the double of FP. Okay, CP will be equal to what? Double of FP. And CP is, as we are knowing, CP is the radius of curvature. And what is FP? That is focal length. Okay, so R will be equal to 2F, or we can write F is equal to 1 by 2 R. So the relation between focal length and radius of curvature, we got the radius of curvature is just double of the focal length, or the focal length is equal to the half of radius of curvature. See some rules for drawing the images formed by the spherical mirror, either for the concave mirror or for the convex mirror. Because as we are knowing that through both type of mirror, when we put the object at different distances, the image form will also be at different distances. And for drawing the different images formed by the curved mirror, we have to follow some rules. Okay, so first rule is that if a ray of light passing parallel to the principal axis, after reflection it will always pass through the focus or appears to diverge from the focus from the convex mirror, or it pass through the focus for the concave mirror. Okay, now come to the second rule. If it is opposite to the first rule. Okay, if the ray of light passes from the focus, okay, if a ray of light passes from the focus or appears to appears to coming towards the focus then after reflection it will come parallel to the principal axis. Okay, here also in concave mirror as well as for the convex mirror, if a ray of light passes from the focus or appears to pass from the focus, then after reflection it will come parallel to the principal axis. Okay, now see the third rule for the concave mirror as well as for the convex mirror. If a ray of light passes through the center of curvature, then after reflection, the path of the ray of light will remain same. Why? Because as we are knowing that for the plane mirror, as we are knowing, if a ray of light is incident normally to the plane mirror, then after reflection, the path will remain same. And here also, if it will pass from the center of curvature after reflection, the path will remain same either for the concave mirror or for the convex mirror. And the fourth rule is that if any ray of light incident at a pole of the mirror making some angle with the principal axis, then it always follows the laws of reflection, that is angle I is equal to angle R. Now we will come to the mirror formula, very important formula, relation between U, V and F. Okay, for understanding the mirror formula, first of all we have to see the figure. Here we have considered one concave mirror and the object is taken above the object is taken beside the center of curvature. Okay, see here the object AB is taken beside the center of curvature, and as we know that when the object is taken beside the center of curvature, the real and inverted and diminished image is formed between center of curvature and focus. Okay, by using the sign convention we have drawn this figure. One ray AM we have taken parallel to the principal axis BP, and after reflection it will pass through the focus. Here for solving this formula, mirror formula, we have taken three rays. The second ray is passing through the center of curvature, and as we know that the ray which is passing through the center of curvature, after reflection there will be no change. Okay, and the third ray we have considered, that is AP, the incident ray, and after reflection the path of this reflected ray is PA dash. Okay, now first of all for solving this formula we will consider the two similar triangle. See this triangle ABC and the triangle A dash B dash C. Here this triangle A dash B dash C. So students, see both the triangle are similar triangle. So by the property of similarity of the two triangles, we are knowing that the ratio of these two sides of the triangle will also be equal. So we can write the A dash B dash upon AB. A dash B dash upon AB is equal to what? B dash C upon BC. See here, B dash C upon BC. Now we will put the different values of B dash C upon BC. See how we can calculate the value of B dash C. See the figure here, B dash C, how we can calculate the B dash C? Here up to from P to C, this value can be written as equal to R, because this is the value of radius of curvature. And here see all the three values U as well as V as well as R, all are will be considered negative, because all the distances we are considering from in the opposite direction of incident ray. So U, V and R all are negative distances. So B dash C, what is equal to B dash C? That is equal to minus R minus V. See here, if we will subtract this distance R through V, we will get the value of B dash C. Okay. Now we will calculate value of BC. See here, BC will be equal to what? BC can be equal to minus u because BP is equal to minus u. Okay, and what is equal to CP? That is again equal to minus R. So what is equal to BC? BC will be equal to minus u minus R. Okay, so simply what we can write? Minus R plus V upon minus u plus R. This is equation number 1. Okay, now we will see the different this triangle. The triangle, now we will see the triangle APB and triangle A-B-P. Okay, both the triangles are formed through the principal focus. Which triangle I am talking? A-B-P. See, A-B-P. This is the triangle A-B-P. Okay, and the triangle which is formed through the object, that is ABP. Okay, now again these two triangles A-B-P and ABP are the similar triangle. Then again we will use the property of similarity. That means the ratio of two sides of the triangle is equal to the ratio of other two sides of the triangle. Okay, so A-B' upon AB, A-B' upon AB is equal to B' upon BP is equal to the ratio of other two sides of the triangle. Okay, so A-B' upon AB, A-B' upon AB is equal to B' upon BP. Okay, now we can directly write the values of B', that is B'. See here, B' is the image distance. Okay, so B' we can directly write minus V upon BP is the object distance, minus V upon minus U. Okay, now this is the equation number 2. Now see equation 1 and 2. A', B' upon AB is equal to this much, and here in equation 2 also A', B' upon AB is equal to this much. Okay, so we can equate both the equation, which are equation 1 and equation 2. By equating the equations, we will get the value, that is V minus R upon R minus U is equal to what? V upon U. Both these my negative sign will be cancelled. So V upon U. Now for simplifying, what we will do? We will just cross multiply. Here V minus R will be multiplied by U. So we can write here equal to, that is equal to UV minus UR is equal to VR minus UV. Okay, these UV and UV will be added, so it will be equal to what? 2UV is equal to VR plus UR. Okay, now for simplification, what we will do? We will just divide by the value U, V and R. The entire equation will be divided by U, V and R. So students, see here UV and UV will be cancelled. Here VR and VR will be cancelled. And here UR and UR will be cancelled. So which values will be remaining here? Tell me. That is equal to 2 upon R is equal to 1 upon U plus 1 upon V. Okay. Now as we know that what is equal to R? That is R is equal to 2F. So in place of R, what we can write? 2F. So 2 upon 2F is equal to 1 upon U plus 1 by V. And 2 and 2 will be cancelled. So when we will cancellation, we will get 1 upon U, 1 upon F is equal to 1 upon U plus 1 upon V. Okay, this is the mirror formula, or it is also called the relation between U, V and F.
Is this formula same for both convex and convex
Yes,
mirror?
The very good question. We can solve this formula for the convex mirror, and here we have considered the real and inverted image case. You can consider the case of virtual image as well as for the convex mirror. If we will use the same method for convex mirror, we will get the same answer. That means Either for concave mirror or for the convex mirror, the formula will remain same. See, we will see the next formula of linear magnification. Student, first of all, we will see the meaning of linear magnification. How many times the image of the object is magnified compared to the size of the object. That means the ratio of height of the image to the height of the object. Here we have considered the height of the image by h2 and height of the object by h1. Okay. So, what is the formula of magnification? That is equal to height of the image to the height of object. That is h2 upon h1. Now, we will calculate the formula for this linear magnification, especially again for the concave mirror, and we can find out the same formula for convex mirror also. So, already we have proved the formula between the relation between u, v and f. So, we have already considered this triangle A dash B dash P and triangle ABP, and we have seen the ratio, that is A dash B dash upon AB is equal to B dash P upon BP. And by putting the values in this formula, what we will get, that is A dash B dash. See here, A dash B dash is below the principal axis. So, we will write the value of A dash B dash minus H2. Okay. Upon AB, that is equal to plus H1 is equal to B dash P. B dash P is the distance of image from the pole, that is minus V, and BP. BP is the distance of object. So, minus V upon minus U. So, magnification M will be equal to H2 upon H1 is equal to minus V upon U. Student, I think you have understood the formula for linear magnification. Now,
Is this formula for concave mirror? And
Yeah.
what about the convex mirror?
For both concave as well as convex mirror, the formula for magnification will remain same. Okay. Now, see the student, today's homework. Here you have to solve the examples of textbook, that is 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, and the exercise question based upon the mirror formula 9.1 and 9.2. And you have to draw the different images formed by both type of mirror, concave mirror and the convex mirror. So, you will get the vast idea how the images will form by both type of mirror, because this is the revision part. Already you have drawn in the 10th standard. Again, for understanding the clarification of this topic, you again draw the different images formed by both type of mirror by placing the object at different distances.